to get one right away. There's a lot I have going on, but it doesn't hurt to... Oh my god, that one! I was so cute. What's his name?
Yeah, that sounds about right. Hey guys, my name's Dan, and this reaction comes from JaidenAnimations. This is I Got a Cat, and I got cats too, actually. I don't know if you guys have been paying attention, but I do have 2 cats now. One is Tiger, the other name is Daisy, as you can see on this lovely picture here. See, look at them! Look how cute they are. Anyway, I absolutely love having them. I get the feeling she's going to love having her cat too, because cats are freaking adorable. They do get into a lot of mischief, but they are adorable. I have so many pictures, and I do mean so many pictures. Look through my phone. I already have like hundreds of pictures, and I've only had them for like 2 weeks now, I think. And it's been one hell of a ride so far, and I can't wait to see what they do next. But before we get into this, though, please do check all of those links I have for you down in the description below. More specifically, JaidenAnimations link if you haven't already. It's a great way to support her, and a great and easy way to support me is to go right below this video and click all those buttons down there, because that'll let you see future reactions that I do, but also helps my channel to grow. And without any further ado, let's go.
For people who have been around for a while, you might be seeing the title and thinking, Jaiden, aren't you allergic to cats? And to that, I'd say yes.
Oh.
Kind of. I'm actually not sure anymore. And for the people who know anything about me, you might see the title and think, Jaiden, cats are literally the #1 natural predator to birds. And to that, I also say, yes.
Yes!
That one's on the real fact. So let me back up a bit and explain how we got here.
Okay, alright, bring it on.
And the world were stacked against the idea of me getting a cat. Growing up, I was irrefutably and absolutely allergic to cats. My best friend had like 3 of the things, and every time I would hang out or sleep over at her house, I would be a sneezy, watery-eyed, snotty mess.
Aww.
Can I have some water? Given the fact my brother was also allergic to cats, it was set that we were a dog family. My whole life I went around not giving cats a second thought. I never had anything actually against them, but since I was forced to stay 20 feet away from them or suffer the consequences, I just couldn't get to know them. Plus, as a kid, dogs were always more appealing. They're more likely to be bigger fans of playing and running around, be more approachable with their genetically bred unconditional love, and can overall be more forgiving. Cut to like 2 catless decades for me later, and I'm meeting Jacob for the first time at his place. As we're hanging out in his living room, his cat Fraser comes over and greets me. Fraser is extremely social and vain, so he's always expecting nothing less than a never-ending stream of attention
still sound like my cats.
people. Even though he's very cute and distinguished, I deployed my typical foolproof plan of don't touch the cat. Fraser realizes he's not getting any attention out of me and sits down nearby on the couch. But a bit later, Jacob's other cat ends up making an appearance. This one's Taylor. She's normally really shy and hides, but does really like women, which I am. Taylor ended up crawling onto me and making herself really comfy in my womanly lap. Jacob, knowing I'm allergic, offered to take her away, but this was actually the first time a cat has ever done something like this to me. I've always been a bit of a cat magnet, if you want to call it that, because I act like they don't exist, which they interpret as me not pushing their boundaries and creating a comfortable environment for them to come up to me on their own terms. But never have I felt like a cat has chosen me like this before. I told Jacob I'm happy to let her stay comfortable on me, and I'll just reap the consequences of my sowing later on. This was my first extremely positive experience with the cat, and I honestly felt really happy and special and wanted to enjoy it. A few hours later, I'm saying my goodbyes, and during the drive back home, I realized I was completely fine.
How about that?
No itchy eyes, straight up nothing. I was so confused and curious. Thus, the start of my little cat experiment began. Every time I went over to Jacob's place, I would let the cats be as social as they wanted with me. If Taylor wanted to sit by me, I'd let her. If Fraser wanted attention, I would pet him. At one point, while we were watching a movie, Taylor literally decided to lay down on my neck, filling every one of my breaths with cat dander and hair. And you know what happened?
Nothing!
No reaction. Not even a little mucus. Somehow, sometime, I'd grown out of my cat allergy and never noticed. Apparently, every 7 years, people's allergies have the chance to change. Maybe being surrounded by my friends' cats all throughout my childhood could have helped my body get more familiar with them.
maybe more immune, I guess?
Either way, I've now unlocked the skill to survive cats.
Rah!
And guys, it was incredible. Now that I'd been freed from my shackles, I immediately started taking time to get to know cats more. Instantly, they felt so much more cute and cool and approachable, and I was
so
really
cute.
starting to like them more, especially since every time I would hang out at Jacob's place, Taylor would
Left
walk
kitty.
over and be around me and purr, and it was amazing to be loved by a cat. So I really like cats now. And after some time,
They're great.
I decided I wanted one too. Jacob and I decided to peruse a local cat rescues website just to see what cats were available. I don't want to get one right away. There's a lot I have going on, but it doesn't hurt to. Oh my god, that one! I was so cute. What's his name?
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Tostada, my beloved. We have to send in an application. We have to. Hi, my name's Jaiden. I love this cat. Please let me adopt it. Please. What? You guys know me. I'm weak-willed and impulsive. My first mistake was liking cats to begin with. I actually reached out a few days later for a cat
That's my problem
to
too.
make sure we would be a good fit to be cat parents. After being approved, they told us we could pick any cat we wanted that was in their care. Of course, I asked about Tostada, but we were given the unfortunate news that she had already been adopted.
Oh.
We looked at the other cats available on their website, but unfortunately none of them really stood out to me. The rescue ended up inviting us to a little Meet the Cats event they were hosting where we could see all the cats they had up for adoption in person, which was awesome because that was actually the first time I'd ever actually seen and held a kitten before. It was amazing. But as cute and tiny as they all were, there still wasn't one that called to me. I pried Jacob away from the kittens, headed home, and we started waiting. Every day I would check the rescue's cat list to see if any new ones caught my eye. I didn't even know what I was looking for, but waited for the universe to send me my perfect cat nonetheless. One morning I refreshed the page and saw one new kitten added. A tortie they found in some dumpster named Scrabble, with the biggest eyes and forehead I've seen in my life. Something about this bizarre little creature called to me. I messaged the rescue about Scrabble and they told me she's available, putting me in touch with Scrabble's foster parents. Every day they sent me new little pictures of kitten Scrabble, and every photo I fell more and more in love with her. She seemed so silly and playful, and those eyes. We got on a video call and they told me all about how big of a personality she has. Out of the 5 other kittens they were fostering, she was by far their favorite. The whole time we were talking, Scrabble was flipping around in their arms and looking at the camera with her giant orbs. I left that call knowing I found my cat. I needed to have little kitten Scrabble. Meeting her in person only cemented it. She was shy at first, but after flinging around her worm toy, she immediately started hopping around and being the life of the party. I talked a lot to her foster parents and they just gushed about how they wish they could keep her since they all loved her so much. Even though the rescue called her Scrabble, obviously that was more of a placeholder name. The foster parents called her Cammy, but neither of those really fit to me. However, I knew one name that I liked. Tostada.
Oh!
Name and pasted it on mine. So what? Big deal. Tostada.
Okay, all right, that's fine.
My Tostada's way more of a tostada than the other tostada anyway. Look at her. I would have left with little Tostada in my arms that moment if I could, but unfortunately, Jacob and I were going out of town for 3 million weeks and had to wait to take her home until after we came back. She was all I could think about the entire time. I was shoving Tostada photos in everyone's face every chance I got. The foster parents were sending Tostada updates every day. I was overflowing with yearning for this cat. She was growing and learning about the world without me. Take me home to my child.
Take me home now.
I landed, we drove straight from the airport to the foster home to pick her up. I could not wait. We arrived home with +1 Tostada. I couldn't believe it. I have a mammal now. And sorry, other mammal owners, but it's the best mammal in the whole universe. Jacob and I spent the entire day playing with her, letting her get used to her new surroundings. She was so cute and so tiny. Here's a video of her eating wet food with a big old chomp. As someone who's owned birds for 7 years at that point, it felt so strange to have a pet that was significantly less fragile. and also draws significantly less blood. You mean this thing can't fly up and get hit by the ceiling fan? Insane! I've had Tostada for a while now. She's 2 years old at the time of me posting this, and let me tell you, this thing has become a creature. First of all, eyes still giant, and she never blinks. Look at this. She was sitting on my desk looking like that long enough for me to notice, get my phone out of my pocket, pull up the camera app,
yep, that's what you
to
do.
her face, and take a photo. And here's like 4 more. She is also not that smart. I'm sure you could deduce that by how she looks, but this thing has a single brain cell, and it's just another version of herself up there with a joystick. Jacob and I are fully convinced she can only form a few thoughts a day, and only in single word nouns. Evidently, Tostada is also very scared of everything, always has been. Loud noises, quiet noises, no noises, movement of any kind. Even Jacob, a person she's been around all her little life post dumpster. There's been times where he'll be at his desk, moves his chair just a smidge, and she's darting out of the room. One time we were trying to explain to some friends how skittish she genuinely can be, and demonstrated it by grabbing a toy literally in front of her, raising it up a bit, lightly dropping it on the floor, still in front of her, and she bolted. You know how cats are genetically built to be good at balancing? Well, Tostada can't even do that. She falls and misplaces her feet all the time.
What a silly
kitty. On
kitty.
multiple occasions, she has tried to walk across my L-shaped desk and just missed and fell down. That's the one thing that makes a cat, and nope, doesn't hit the mark there either. She's gotten better, but as a kitten, Tostada couldn't even jump. After I built her first cat tower, I watched as she attempted to jump up to the 2nd level, not quite make it, and had to slam her arms down on the thing to hoist herself up like she was mountain climbing. But oh, is she the sweetest little thing. When I got a cat, I was expecting it to want its own space, come around when it wants, you know, general cat things. But this creature follows me from room to room with those high beams of hers. She sits on my lap while I'm at my computer, lays on my giant Pokemon plushes, mostly just looks up at me from the floor and just stares. When I'm sleeping, she'll just crawl into bed and tuck herself up right next to me. Look at all these photos of her straight up on me when I'm sleeping.
Oh, it's so cute!
Bedtime is sacred to her. She loves bedtime. If I'm working late, Tostada will come into my office around 9 or 10 p.m., aka past Tostada bedtime, and just start crying, scratching on my chair, rolling around on the floor. It's pitiful. And if I still don't move after that, she'll go into the bedroom and drag over her string toy she always plays with. It's just so sad and pathetic. I always play string with her when she brings it over though, don't worry. But lately, she's picked up another routine habit, which is pats. Not all cats like the pats, but Tostada lives off them. It's when you just slap a cat's butt and it looks like you're hurting them, but they actually love it. However, Tostada's really particular about pats. First of all, I'm the only one allowed to give her pats. Jacob has tried, and she runs away scared and offended every single time. Second, she has to receive pats on a specific spot on the floor of the closet. If I try to give her pats in like my office, she bolts to her floor spot, staring at me to continue them over there. Also, she begs to be pat every single night. Like clockwork, she'll sit like a gargoyle in front of the closet and cry pitifully until I come over there. Now, when I finally come over for pats, she'll flop on the floor and start horizontally rock climbing her way across the floor with her claws and tangle herself up in the Ethernet cables while I keep up the pats. You think I'm joking, but I'm very much not. This is the only way she accepts pats, and I have to give them to her every night or else she's miserable. Tostada's world is so small. She's really just around me, Jacob, Taylor, and Frasier, but she loves her simple family so much. When Kitten Tostada first met Frasier, she was terrified of him. She'd been around other adult cats before, but she'd never seen a flat cat in her life, and she was mortified.
She's like,
of course,
whoa!
She's since warmed up to him, and they play together and hang out all the time. They're best friends. But Tostada loves Taylor. Always has. She looks up to Taylor like a little baby sister admiring her cool, awesome older sibling. Unfortunately, Taylor hates it. They literally
Oh.
have a SpongeBob Squidward type of sibling relationship.
Oh my.
And Tostada is so oblivious to it. Taylor has annoyingly swatted at Tostada so many times just for existing around her that Tostada now thinks it's a fun little game they play
Of
and will
course.
start chasing and swatting back at Taylor happily, not understanding cat social cues.
No,
of course,
not
never
really.
in a way that's too far, but just enough to get on Taylor's nerves even more. Between the three of them, they all have such different little personalities and relationships to each other. It's made our lives so much more entertaining. And to anyone
bet.
concerned about the birds, don't worry. I've got Ari and Tofu very separated from the cats. They're safe in their own blocked off room connected by a double door system that
Damn.
ensures no possible interaction between bird and cat. If anyone is thinking about getting cats and birds as pets, it is possible, but just make sure the two are very separate, especially if you have
I'd say
smaller
so.
birds like conures or budgies. I'm sure there's people out there that have trained their cats to be fine around a pet bird, but to me, all it takes is one accident or attack for you to just not have a bird anymore. Plus,
Yeah.
having the two of them takes a huge amount of time and commitment. I've said it before and I'll say it forever. I love my birds to death, but they do not make good pets for the very large majority of people. In terms of allergies, I do think I was originally still a little bit allergic to Tostada,
Oh.
ironically. When I first got her, I was sneezy and sniffling, nothing allergy pills couldn't fix, and it never was as bad as my original cat allergy.
That's good,
but
that's
I
good.
think I've been growing out of that one too, because nowadays I don't have any reaction to her at all. Bodies are
Cool.
a mystery. I am building my
Cool.
immunity to everything. Next up is rat poison. I didn't
Oh,
just
no,
wanna
no,
make
no,
a
no, no.
video talking about this thing, but Tostada's just got such a funny little personality and has become such a big part of my life. She may be the description of autism, but I love her more than the world itself, and I know I'm the center of her little life too.
No.
I don't even see her as a cat. She's just a little creature that follows me around looking weird, but I love it, and I'm so glad I grew out of my cat allergy just so I can have her.
No, give kisses.
It really has been so different owning a cat, mainly because I know Tostada won't just bite me at any given chance, unlike some avian creatures. They
Okay, so I got a bit of a story to tell. I don't think I've told it yet with how I got my cats. So after I lost my dog, after he passed away, I was feeling very empty for a while, very sad, very much missing having him around, and I still do. But and then became a lot about missing taking care of animals, because I've had animals on and off throughout my life, and even when I had Buddy, I still wanted cats. So it took about 3 weeks or so. I kind of was just browsing around, I guess. I was thinking about it for like maybe a couple days beforehand, but then I was browsing around and I was looking at various rescues, and then I found this one cat who was Tiger, and I found another cat who was named Jennifer at the time. I say at the time because obviously the name had to be changed to Daisy. But what I didn't know at the time was that they were, you know, brother and sister, which is something I would find out like the moment I got there, because originally I was just going to get the one cat. I wasn't sure if getting 2 cats was going to be a really good idea for me, but as soon as I got there, I saw them all curled up together in a ball in their little cage, and it's like, oh no, I can't separate them, so I guess I have to get the both of them. So I did, and they're playful as hell. They're about 4 months old now, and they're just a ball of fun. They're always running around, scratching. I have scratching posts all over the place, many different toys for them to play with, and they're both very lovable. One more than the other. Certainly Tiger, he loves laying in my lap. Like any chance he can, he'll lay in my lap. Now he's off somewhere sleeping, as they usually tend to do whenever I'm recording over here. But sometimes he does like to jump in my lap and be a lap kitty for a bit. And you know, my other cat Daisy, she's also very affectionate, but not as affectionate as Tiger. Like Tiger will literally come up to you and start like nuzzling your hand or nuzzling whatever. He always initiates the interactions, and Daisy kind of follows. It kind of depends on how much she trusts you. If she trusts you a lot, she'll be right next to you. If she doesn't, then she'll just be wandering off somewhere else. But I never take any sort of offense to that. I haven't since I've gotten her. They're both absolutely wonderful. I can't imagine my life really without them. Like it's been such an interesting transition, I guess you could say, from having a dog to having cats again, which I haven't had in 10 plus years now. So it's been very, very interesting. I'll continue to let you guys know how they're doing as all my reactions go, and you can let me know down in the comment section below. Do you have any cats? Please leave a like if you enjoyed. Also, check all of those links I have for you down in the description below. Then lastly, and most importantly, I want to give a huge shout out to all my $5 and up supporters on Patreon: Cruising, Wolverine310, Kester Cronage, Joshy, Chris Curtis, Ann Perry, Fox Coffany, Misa2, Lily the Snoopy Fan, Lauren, Jenny the Swifty, Allison the Aesthetic Girl, Flea Street Vicomp, Emily the Flower Lover, Steffi, Sophie the Sunset Girl, Summer the Dog Lover, Misa3, Arrow Hamster, Inca Linquist, Aubrey the Charlie Brown Lover, ZK Stir, Thomas Shawanowit, Carter Resnick, Avante Jones, Noah Mowdy, and Camus Bethia. And if you too like to have a shout out and in each and every one of my videos, please head over to patreon.com/JaidenReactor for more. And I will see you guys next time.